Hello, my dear students. I welcome you all to the English online classes of 10th class. We were already doing the reading part in the last session. In the previous class, we have learned that in an educated person, the understanding, knowledge will increase. But in the previous class, we saw that the author, though grown up, young, energetic, lacked to understand and help the parents. Though his inner conscience was always alerting him to carry the trunk, to be as an supporting or the helping person for the family and fulfill all the needs of the family, he did not do that. Why? Because of education. Education has shunted the physical labor. Is it right, children? No. Education is nothing but the all-round development of a child. So now, as he did not do that, we cannot improve our personality. So we have to find out the mistakes what we are doing in our life. Now let us go to the remaining reading section of the story, part 2, the journey. But before that, let us look at the glossary. Improper, wrong or dishonest, self-consciousness, nervousness, belittled, make someone look unimportant. So mostly in the 10th and 9th class, you will feel nervousness to do anything. If any work is allotted, you feel very nervousness and you say that, I'm feeling afraid, I'm getting afraid. Okay, so we should not do that. And some students will be there that they wanted to show off them and make others look unimportant. So this also should not be there. So belittled and self-consciousness must be removed in your life. Now next, fourth one, resembled, have a similar appearance. Okay, we have to read the lesson and we have to take out the good points and resemble ourselves in our life for the better personality. Convince, completely certain about something. Okay, when we are doing, we must be sure about that. Okay, then next, reluctantly, in an unwilling and hesitant way. If any work is said by your parents or by your teachers, you should not be, or you should not be unwilling or hesitated. You should immediately nod your heads to do that, because that will improve your personality. While doing the work, you will come to know many faults and the failure, whatever the failures are there, you will try to correct it. Then next comes the word contentment, a feeling of happiness or satisfaction. This comes only when we finish our work completely and successfully. It should not be praised by us, because praising ourselves brings proudness. Instead, see, everyone will be observing us and they will praise your work and your hard work or your labor or whatever you have done, that all will be gone with the feeling of happiness. So self-satisfaction will be, you will get it only when you do your work perfectly. So that also we should follow in our life. Then the next word, receding. Okay, go or move back. We should not move back ourselves. See, whenever there are running race or any sports event, you all will come forward in the same way in each and everything, either the reading or lessons or any work in the house, you must come forward. Okay, when you come forward, then only you will be successful. Okay, you should not move back. Then the next word is simultaneously, at the same time. Okay, we feel that we are weak, but though you are weak, if at all you feel you are not weak, because it is not your age to be weak, but what you have to do is, okay, though you are weak, you should not avoid the work allotted that day. Every day is a God given gift day for us to do some work. Every day we have to learn something. So we should not say that we are weak, so I'm going to postpone the work. No. So simultaneously we have to do, okay, you have to do the reading as well as help the parents, okay, as well as look at the faults of others and correct them. Luxurious, okay, we should not be selfish, okay, extremely comfortable. All the children nowadays, they are looking their comfortableness only. We should avoid that. Okay, we have to, God's nature is we have to give the luxury to the others. Then the luxurious life will be the gift given to us. Then very, very tired. You have to understand, students, to your pay, because you are grown up. You have to understand, because your parents, they have become very, very tired. You have to understand, and you have to find out why they are sending to school, and how you have to change your life to fulfill their wishes and make your personality a developed one. Okay, now let us do the reading session. Father was quiet for some time. He thoughtfully looked at the sun for a moment, and then his eyes fell on the can of homemade wine that I was carrying. Wetting his lips with his tongue, he said in a matter of fact manner, I am thirsty. I gave him the can of wine. He poured himself a mug and handed me the can. He drank all of it at one go. He then arranged a belt that was attached to the trunk carefully on his forehead. So, this was the picture. My father carrying my luggage on his back and me following him with a tiny bag in my hand. We were walking up a narrow hilly road, and neither of us uttered a word, as if we were strangers who spoke different languages. I did not know what was going on in his mind. From time to time, it crossed my mind that it was improper for me to let father carry the luggage. I wanted to tell him that I would like to carry the trunk myself, but my guilt and shame did not allow me to do so. This self consciousness had probably to do with my education, the white collar job that I had, or quite simply my pride. See, here in this paragraph, he is finding out all his faults, but he was not coming forward. He was moving back. Somehow, I had the feeling that if I carried luggage, my father and my people, in fact, the whole world, laugh at me and I would be belittled. Does it happen, children? Doing our work gives a lot of satisfaction. If I complete my notes with a neat handwriting, really you feel very happy. If you answer the question among all the children, if you are the first to answer the question, really, that happiness will be a lot. So, education should not bring pride, it must help others. Father was Father had provided for my education, and I had been able to realize his dreams. My parents were truly proud of me. It was through me that they had earned a greater degree of admiration. See, children, we should not get because of parents and teachers only we reach to the certain level, and we should not say that because of us, okay, the respect they are getting, that is completely wrong. So it was through me that they had earned a greater degree of admiration and respect from the villagers. My father would not like to see me carrying a trunk on my back and would be hurt if I did so. I concluded that it would be better to let him carry it. Father was used to carrying luggage anyway. He was stronger and more skilled than me in these matters. I had never got used to physical labor, having stayed in hostels right from my childhood. So, in spite of my youth and strength, I was physically useless. I continued walking silently with father. We rested at two places on the way and had our tiffin, but we hardly talked. Finally, we reached Dirang. The bus from Tawang had not yet reached Dirang, and so we had some time in hand. We entered a tea shop and sat facing each other. Father appeared tired. I felt sorry for him, but couldn't bring myself to say anything. I asked the waiter to get us 2 cups of tea. Just as I was going to take my first sip, I heard father's voice. Do you have a pair of old shoes? Why? I asked. The road is uneven and full of pebbles. It hurts while walking. I looked at father's bare feet. Never having worn shoes, his feet had developed cracks and somehow resembled those of an elephant. I noticed this for the first time. I hadn't noticed that the road was uneven. I didn't have to since I was wearing a pair of hunting boots. I checked my wallet and saw I still had around rupees 40 with me. A pair of canvas shoes would cost around rupees 12, and remaining amount would be enough for me to get to Bomdila. My father protested, give me an old pair. See the nature of the parents' children? They don't even want the new one. They are satisfied with the old ones only. You don't have to spend money on new shoes. I couldn't convince him to buy a new pair. Reluctantly, I gave him the hunting boots I was wearing. I then took out my pair of leather shoes from the trunk and noticed my father's face lighting up with contentment. Suddenly, he looked at me and said, take care. Write to us? Father wanted to say something, but the bus started moving. I saw my father gradually receding into the distance. I saw that the road we had come by looked like a giant motionless roof. Father would use the same road to go back home. Simultaneously, our journey started in two opposite directions. With me seated in the luxurious seat of a bus and father walking back with weary legs on the pebble-strewn road. I think all of you have understood what, after reading the lesson, we have to understand and bring the behavioral changes. That is what the main aim of the education is. So each and after each and every lesson, we have to change ourselves. So the behavioral changes is compulsory in each and every life for the better personality and for the successful life. We fail many times, but we have to change. We have to try and try till the success. Now, let us look the next part of the section, answer the following questions. The author feared the whole world would laugh at. Was his fear real or imaginary? Give reasons. His fear was imaginary because of pride of education. No one will laugh if you carry your luggage. Second question, choose one sentence from the story that best expresses the author's false prestige. Support your answer with details from the story. From time to time, it crossed my mind that it was improper for me to let father carry the luggage. I wanted to tell him that I would like to carry the trunk myself, but my guilt and shame did not allow me to do so. This is the sentence which gives the message of the question. Third one, what does the phrase opposite direction in the last sentence suggest? Simultaneously, their journey started in opposite directions. The first point, the author is sitting in the luxurious bus. And the second point is, for father very tired, walking on the pebble-strewn road. The last question, how is the story told? Were the events narrated in the order of sequence? How did you feel? The first point, the story is told in a narration way. Second, were the events narrated in the order of sequence? Yes, the events were narrated in the order of sequence. How did you feel? You have to express your opinion. I felt it really effective to bring out the behavioral changes. With this, we end this part of the session. Stay home, stay safe, be futuristic. Thank you, children.